Would you believe it? A week over 500, both of us, with our NFL picks.
And yet,
might be the first time either one of us has been over 500 this season.
I looked at my record and I thought, holy cow, I was 4-1 this week and that's my record? Oy vey.
It's Chris, it's Ash. We're going to sprinkle in some college football as well. The NFL slate is just
rude.
Brutal.
I know, but that was rude. I looked and I was like, for real? College? Now I need to pick point spreads in college?
Brutal in the NFL. All of this is for entertainment purposes only. We are above board on Onorato and Miller. No investigations here.
The FBI isn't coming after us.
The way it's happening in the NBA and across poker games in this country. We'll get into that breaking news here on this Thursday regarding some high-profile people in the NBA. And anytime you invoke the term Mafia, ears perk up, things get really interesting. Jeff Hoffman's going to the World Series.
Yes, he is.
Game 1 is Friday night. So from shaker to top 10 pick, back to Toronto, and now as the closer in the World Series against the Dodgers. We'll talk with his high school head coach, Steve Frank, about what makes Jeff good in the big moments, what Steve saw very early on in Jeff Hoffman's makeup in terms of being able to deliver in those big moments. But are they any test for Los Angeles? We'll talk about whether anybody can really put up a fight against the Dodgers at this point. The NBA season is underway, and the great Leo Messi will continue his career. It's all on Onorato and Miller. Let's go.
This is Onorato and Miller, sponsored by Alpenhaus.
All right, Ash, this smacked a lot of people in the face on Thursday when the news broke that Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups had been arrested at his home. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier had been arrested at a team hotel. And Damon Jones, former player, coach, arrested, all linked to illegal gambling or rigged poker games. 34 people across 11 states. This is pretty unbelievable here.
A current head coach of an NBA team.
Yeah.
Like,
you've seen players get dinged, right? We saw
dinged
in the NBA. Guys basically kicked out of the league. Right, for being part of illegal gambling, tipping off buddies or other professional sports gamblers about whether or not they were injured. We saw it's like with the under all the time, where a guy leaves the game early with a fake injury. It happened twice last year in the NBA. And now, yes, to your point, a head coach here. This is insane.
Like, this guy's not going to coach for a while.
Ever again. He's never going to coach again. Chauncey Billups was the best player on that 04 Pistons championship team. Is he a Hall of Famer? Either look that up.
I don't know.
I'll check that in the commercial, or Ash will check it now as I just ramble here for a little bit. But he will never be part of the NBA culture again. He's been an executive. He's been a head coach. He's been a commentator. There's no way the NBA allows him near their sport ever again. Whether or not he is found guilty in this investigation or not, there's way too much smoke for Adam Silver or any succeeding commissioner to say, yeah, you know what? Come on back. There is no way.
Inducted last year.
And
going out in a blaze of glory.
And so for all the Pete Rose stands out there, right, this is your opportunity to stand up and shout, hey, Rose should have been in for his on-field accomplishments the way Billups went in for his on-court accomplishments, especially if Billups stays in.
The difference is it's after. Yeah.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
Well, the knowledge was after.
I understand.
You don't go in because people knew.
Yep. I don't know that Hall of Fames kick people out.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules
They
are.
keep people out, but I don't know if they kick people out. This
Can you
is
have
going
it
to be
revoked?
an interesting case study
Mhm.
for Chauncey Billups. And the Blazers are not like some awful
No.
team. I don't think they'd make the playoffs
No.
in the West, but they put up a good fight in their season opener.
Mhm.
And they have a decent team. And now Tiago Splitter will take over as the
Love
interim
it.
head coach. How about that name from the playing past? Terry Rozier is a guy who had
End of his career.
spurts as a
Yeah.
scorer in this league in Boston and then Charlotte. But yes, to your point, not a significant player anymore as he's on the bench with Miami.
Which is why you raise red flags when people are betting on you and you have no real impact on a game. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, millions of people are betting on Terry Rozier under over.
Yeah.
Why might that be? Well, we better look into it. You can't, like, guys are so stupid. And you think you're going to get away with that?
And to be clear, Billups is more on the rigged poker
Right.
game side of things. Rozier and Damon Jones are more of the NBA betting
Right. Which is way
sides of
worse.
things, right?
I mean, listen, none of it's good, but it's worse to be betting on basketball.
I would
Betting on the game you're
sign me up for betting on the game I'm playing in or part of than being involved with the Mafia.
Well, I'm not saying
whatever
I want to be involved in the
consequences
Mafia.
could
From a
come.
basketball perspective, you're way more likely to let a guy like Chauncey Billups back in than a guy who's
Yes,
betting on
true.
basketball.
Yes.
Like he's betting on poker games and I'm not saying he's going to get back in, but and some of the stuff is wild. It's the technology and the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
Wild, but I would be much more likely to let him back in if he's not betting on basketball.
So Damon Jones specifically here allegedly tipped off a co-conspirator about injuries to LeBron James in 2023 and 2024. Text messages, digital trails, people.
Dummy.
And that bettor who Jones helped out won on these bets. It was the Bucks and then I think the Thunder in two specific games. But there are other ties here to what Jones was doing with privileged information to injury reports, right? Being on the Lakers. He was an unpaid guy on Darvin Ham's coaching staff. Now when J.J. Redick took over, no more Damon Jones. So this goes back to 23 and 24 a little bit here. This is specific to those
crazy.
rigged poker games. I mean, look at what, as Ash said, the technology, right, that was at play here. And I guess I'm old enough to the point where I shouldn't be surprised by any of this anymore.
Well, no,
about what's capable, right? I mean, I guess you're kind of surprised about what people, with the lengths people might go to, but I would have never guessed that you could put in a pair of contact lenses or put on a pair of eyeglasses but I guess the card is marked with some kind of
it's
ink.
probably got
right?
like black ink on it, or like what you would use
Black
to
light.
see under a black light,
Mhm.
and you write on it, and that's what's happening, and that it makes all the sense in the world. I'm surprised it hasn't happened before now. How they even figure any of that out is kind of amazing. Obviously, it has to do with the tables, and then they're investigating every piece and part of it. Poker chip trays with cameras makes a lot of sense. You got cards on a tray. You see the cards underneath. I don't know who's telling people who what, but
well, yeah, the cameras can just monitor what everybody's doing at the table. The table itself had an X-ray element to it, where if I put my cards face down, now I can see what everybody at the table has. Shuffling machines that were able to read cards. This is some sophisticated stuff.
This is what's the like Ocean's 11 on speed. Like they were breaking into casinos to rob them, but like it's all going down in the casino, and it's like next level. Like had they made this movie 10 years ago, people would be like, "Yeah, cool! Like this is it."
I know. Yeah.
Like how many people do you think had to be involved in those things in a casino at the same time for it all to work? It had to be dozens.
Yeah. And Spears is right. I wonder if this is just the tip of the investigation here. How many more?
My guess is like it's been a year long. If you're going to put Chauncey Billups in cuffs and Terry Rozier in cuffs, you better have your ducks in a row, because you know they're going to have the biggest lawyers on the planet and be ready to fight back. So you better know. And my guess is even the collateral damage is probably pretty figured out.
Okay, and that's where I'm getting there, right?
Yeah.
With
My
conspiracy
guess
here
is.
too, right? Is that 34 people, 11 states? It feels like a very comprehensive investigation here.
Can you imagine doing that and like no one, and I would assume no one had any idea that like this is going on. Like people in the Blazers organization don't know that for the last year they're looking into all this stuff and their guys about to get arrested. It's just so insane to think that so much of it can go down and not get leaked. That it's happening.
And allegedly, most of this with the rigged poker games happened in the New York area. So, yes, to your point, like a coach on the other side of the country using his celebrity status to lure other people to these games. There's one person who allegedly lost almost $2 million alone through these games. We're talking tens of millions of dollars through these poker games and the illegal sports betting.
I mean, and you probably should go to jail for stuff like it's fraud. You're frauding people out of money.
And that's what the FBI said today. It was tens of millions of dollars in fraud. Yeah.
And the mafia. No thanks. Like, and that's where it gets kind of crazy is like the police, how far do you go into organized crime to disrupt it for fear of what you might get on the other side? No thanks.
A wild day.
Insane. That's insane.
And what a nightmare for Adam Silver, right? We're talking about Victor Wembanyama against Cooper Flagg in the opener. We're talking about the Thunder raising the banner with Kevin Durant in town on the first night of the NBA season. You get the Warriors and the Nuggets tonight. You get a rematch of the NBA Finals, albeit without Tyrese Halliburton, between the Thunder and the Pacers tonight on Thursday. And all we're talking about is this.
It's the most we've talked about the NBA
the
in a long time.
season has just started for Adam Silver. And this is what is going to dominate the headlines for weeks.
Yeah.
For weeks. How long did we talk about Ohtani and his translator? Weeks. I know MLB was very quick to be like,
it didn't feel like it was that big
here.
of a deal. Yeah. And again, it's the Blazers, like, meh.
It's
and
a
Terry
coach.
Rozier. Like, I get it. And that's the thing. It is a current NBA head coach, which is just kind of mind-blowing. They will have to replace him. It's a whole new thing over there. But I bet it goes away faster than you think. Okay. It's kind of crazy. But I bet it does.
Okay. All right. Let's take a break here on Onorato and Miller, our Week 8/9 football picks, NFL, college, right?
Right.
One ahead of the other a little bit. We'll talk with Jeff Hoffman's high school baseball coach about what makes him special now at 32 years old. What did Steve Frank see at 16, 17, and 18 years old as Hoffman gets ready for the sport's biggest stage, the World Series, and taking the mound potentially to close out some Toronto wins if the Blue Jays can even hold a lead against the Dodgers.
Oh, boy.
When we get to that point. We're back in a minute.
Imagine coming home after a long day and slipping into your own personal hot tub from Wellness Spas. Let the stress of the day melt away as you soak in the therapeutic benefits of the water. Our team at Alpenhaus wants to help you relax and enjoy the advantages of owning your very own hot tub. Now offering a whole new lineup from Wellness Spas, featuring models from their City Life and Peak Life lines. Alpenhaus Pools and Hot Tubs. Visit us at Clifton Park Center and Route 30 in Amsterdam.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
All right, Ash, we'll talk with Jeff Hoffman's high school baseball coach in a little bit, but let's look ahead to the World Series here. Again, Game 1 Friday night, Game 2 Saturday, and then they'll go from Toronto to L.A. Here's what the Shaker grad Jeff Hoffman has done this postseason.
Not bad.
He had 33 regular season saves, which was good for fourth in all of baseball. But he had an ERA over 4. His WHIP was high, 1.2. it wasn't his best year as a reliever. He had 2 really good seasons in Philadelphia and earned the contract for sure. But he has been pretty much lights out in the playoffs here. 5 appearances, 7 innings, right? Only 1 run allowed, only the 12 strikeouts there. The guy struck out the side in the top of the 9th inning to close out the ALCS. He's been really, really good in these playoffs, and would be a lot of fun to see him take the mound in the 9th inning to potentially save a World Series game.
Here's the deal. It's a division opponent for the Yankees. It's so hard for me. I'm
saying you have to root for Toronto, but you're not going to root for the Dodgers.
I'm just explaining myself. It will be really difficult to see Toronto not even just succeed, but like to win, it would be terrible. But even to like win games would be tough for me.
Okay.
But I would love to see him in games, which means Toronto has the lead. And if he's in and Toronto has the lead, I hope they win, because you never want to see the opposite happen.
He could come in a tie game in the 9th, which teams do with their closer, get it into extras, and then.
Yeah. But I don't wish that for him either. It's not that I don't want. I now want him to win a World Series. Listen to I work at North Colony now. A Shaker grad has a chance to win a World Series. Yeah. That's where my allegiances will lie for the very short term. Yes. It's all people are talking about. I went to an event yesterday for the district, for school, downtown, state ed, multiple people. Hey, you've got that baseball player playing in the World Series. I saw it on TV. I saw it on your social media. We saw it on the news, in the newspaper. It's all people are talking about, which is insane. Because Tommy Kahnle played in the World Series last year.
Right.
But the moment that when you have a moment to shut the door in the ALCS and send your team to the World Series, that particular moment gets so highlighted and played back because of on SportsCenter. They show the celebration and people jumping all over, and that was him. So that moment has just kind of elevated him next level. And it's not that people didn't care that Tommy Kahnle was in the World Series with the New York Yankees. It's just that Jeff Hoffman had that moment that people paid attention to. And people in North Colony are super pumped up, but people in the Capital Region should be pumped up. Ian Anderson played in a World Series. Like all three of our guys that are in the majors right now have played in the World Series, unless you count Matt Gage, which I don't know if we do or not.
Yeah. Well, and Ian's got to work his way back too.
Yeah.
What do you remember about Hoffman in high school? I remember tall and skinny.
Yep. I remember tall and skinny. I remember he had great stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like he was going to East Carolina, and I think you always think, is this going to translate? Like, because East Carolina is a great baseball school. Is this going to work at the next level? I don't know. That's kind of what I thought. But I thought Shaker baseball has never been as good as it was as when Jeff Hoffman, in my time, as when Jeff Hoffman was there. We followed them. I covered them in the state championship game. They had never been that good before. Yep. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know about. You can, in high school baseball, you can ride a good pitcher or two all the way. And that's why I think Shaker baseball this year probably was a little disappointed, because they had 3 pretty good pitchers. But Jeff Hoffman was as good as it gets.
Can Hoffman do what Kahnle's then Yankees couldn't? Can the Blue Jays beat this Dodgers team? LA is a heavy favorite, minus 225 to win a second straight title here.
Yeah. And
will put up their potential starting rotation, what that foursome did in the NLCS, which was insane. You know, look, if you're looking to win a little bit of money and you have expendable funds, go ahead and throw some on Toronto, right? Sure. Basically plus 200 almost.
Yep.
But
Toronto's lineup,
how are they going to beat the Dodgers?
Toronto's lineup is built for the postseason. They're built, they make contact, they manufacture runs. They are built to do what they have done so far this postseason. The problem is 1 through 4, the pitching for the Dodgers is better than pretty much anything they've seen so far this postseason. Yeah. I still think they're going to score runs. Okay. I just don't know that it's going to be enough, because, you know, the Dodgers are going to score them in bunches.
Probably. And here's what Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, and
insane.
Ohtani did
Insane.
in 4 starts against the Brewers in what was a sweep.
Insane.
0.63. Ohtani had a game for the absolute ages, something you will never see again.
Greatest postseason baseball performance ever.
I think you could even just take baseball out of that.
Sports performance.
Greatest postseason performance in any sport by any
of all
athlete.
Time. It's
who's putting up the argument there?
Nobody.
10 strikeouts in 6 shutout innings and 3 home runs.
Yeah, forget it.
One that left the stadium. So like 3.5 home runs. I don't know. Wild.
It was amazing. Every time he hit another, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Is this real life? Like
Yeah.
It almost seems like it's not real.
And he had done nothing to that point in the NLCS, right? He just struggled so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then you knew it was coming at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and it did in a big way. All right, let's check in on the big news of the week here, and that is this NBA gambling investigation. Brian saying, yeah, crazy, this NBA thing. Rockets fan. Okay.
Go Rockets.
All right. Good question by Gary here, right? I mean, my guess, Gary, is that every professional league at this point in 2025 is constantly monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
Is the
Vegas is monitoring?
Is the FBI looking into these 2 leagues? Probably not. But to your point, Vegas.
It's insane the way that they describe what kind of raises red flags. It seems like just electronically they have basically eyes on every player, every team, every sport. And if anything is just even a little bit out of the norm,
Look at it.
But this doesn't tend to be a little bit. All of these instances are a lot of bit out of the norm. And that's where it's like, okay, well, how dumb do you have to be? A player who never plays or a player who it just seems like the most ridiculous instance. It's not like, but I get it. LeBron's not doing this. That's why it just is like,
and you have to try to make it as close to a sure thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to give you information that's going to end up being bad information. Mm-hmm. Now what happens to me?
Then the Mafia comes to get you.
I'm just saying, right? So even though we laugh at how obvious it is, you've got to make it somewhat obvious here.
Yeah. But it does. You can't be getting crazy bets on players who don't normally play, and then something happens. Like if he had played the whole game and it had been really close, but for him to exit with 9 or 10 minutes into the game and then, you not be able, that's too obvious. Yeah. It's so dumb.
Question on YouTube here. Why do European players who are drafted often look like they have a lot of experience in the NBA? And I don't know if Danny means physically look.
They look like they belong. Their game looks
like
they
belong. Do they look old? Right. I guess that's my question here, right?
I think I would interpret it as their game looks like they belong. Like
because they've been playing against adults.
Correct. And they're not playing college basketball. They're playing against European professionals.
Yeah.
And the European game is so different. It's so much more advanced and just it's less power, more finesse. There's so much more of like a skill and craft to the European game. Like nobody's ever seen and I get it. Nobody's ever seen anybody like Victor Wembanyama because he's so tall and lanky. Nobody's seen anybody like Victor Wembanyama from his skill set with a guy over 6'8", not let alone 7'4" or whatever he is.
Yeah. When you start as a 14-year-old playing against 19 and 20-year-olds, you grow up pretty fast.
Yeah. You have to.
My guess is you're not intimidated by the size of any NBA guys.
Yeah. And there are plenty who have not,
of course,
panned out.
Darko Milicic is the one that
Number
everybody
2
will point to. Yeah. In that draft with LeBron, Melo, D Wade, Bosh. Darko squeezed in there.
Yeah.
That too.
So not all, but there are plenty, you're right, who come from Europe and look ready.
Yeah.
And fit in just fine.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is what we saw in the opener from Wemby. 40 points, 15 rebounds. The Spurs beat the Mavs, and Cooper Flagg, the number 1 overall pick, goes for 10-10 in the loss to San Antonio.
Yeah. An underwhelming 10-10, but we talked about it. There's no tougher way to start the season than against Victor Wembanyama.
And Flag was playing point for Dallas, so a lot of times he had Stephon Castle on him, who's a really good player. San Antonio is a good team. I've got something in a futures wager with the Spurs to 1, make the playoffs, and 2, win 40-plus games.
Did you get some insider info?
I called Chauncey and I said,
hey, what do you know about the injury status of
San Antonio? Is a good roster. I get that some of the guys you'd have to really be an NBA follower to know, but I'm telling you, they're a good roster. If Wemby doesn't get hurt last year, Spurs may have made the playoffs. So if he can stay healthy, that's the whole key with him. They've got a real shot. And Dallas is waiting for Kyrie Irving to come back here. Flag with Davis and Lively.
Yeah.
It'll
be fun.
Good team. But if Wemby is everything we think he can be, it's going to be great for the NBA.
Everything he does is eye-popping. Like, nothing is just like casual. Like, it just, and maybe it's his size. Everything he does blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about that one play last night, and I saw it too on the highlights, and just like toying with people with the basketball at 7'4".
To bring it all the way up the floor.
Dribbling all around people, in and out.
Step back 3.
Fouled. Goes. Like, that's not.
I know we say this all the time. Like, there's never been anybody like him, but
there's never been anybody like him. Ever. There was never anyone like Jordan when he came through. Then there was never anyone like LeBron. And now there's definitely never been anyone like Wemby, because we talk about all the time how physically that's what made LeBron and Jordan different. Like, LeBron was built different. He was built like a defensive end. Wemby is built different. That's the kind of the biggest things between the three of those guys. They will all be, if Wemby doesn't get hurt, all-time great players, built entirely differently. Like, they're not the same at all.
And we said that about Durant too, right? That, like, we had never seen a guy who's arguably 7 feet tall, maybe he's 6'11", do what he's been able to do. But Wemby at 7'4", some people are saying he's 7'7".
That's even different.
Doing what he's doing is insane.
Insane.
The Knicks get a win. They were 0-4 last year against Cleveland, opening game for New York, and they beat the Cavs. And then Kevin Huerter goes for 15 points in the Bulls win. He comes off the bench and scores 15.
That's a good number. 15 off the bench is where you want to live.
If he averages 15 this year, he's going to get another nice contract, that's for sure. All right, when we come back here on Onorato and Miller, quick break, we will talk about the college football weekend coming up. Not a ton of ranked games, but some pivotal games in the SEC. And Leo Messi is not done in the MLS. I'm here for it. Back in a minute.
The great thing about novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable. This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
Get ready for the thrill of a lifetime with Tracker fishing boats. Available at Alpenhaus. Feel the rush as you reel in your trophy catch, supported by Tracker's unmatched stability. Prepare to conquer any challenge with cutting-edge tech at your fingertips and the freedom to explore without limits. Make waves this season and experience the ultimate fishing adventure with Tracker fishing boats at Alpenhaus. Your source for fun since 1964.
The great thing about novices, no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable. This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
All right, Ash, you know my affinity for Lionel Messi. And I can appreciate players who are maybe a little past their prime. Embracing the idea
he's doing
of
just fine.
Yes, he is. Now, is it the competition or
Maybe.
is it I don't know.
Who cares?
But I like that guys are willing to come over to the States, play in the MLS, raise up that product and give it a bigger platform. And look, MLS cities don't need Leo Messi. These markets are doing just fine with professional soccer, but it brings in a lot of outside interest.
If you could give, how old is Leo Messi?
38.
Well, LeBron's older. So
Okay.
if you could give every professional player like a real legitimate stage where they felt like they could still make money and be the best player on the field,
Mm-hmm.
do you know how many of those guys would go do it?
Yeah.
Like some people have pride and some people say like, no, I don't want to go down to that level.
We get NBA guys who go to China, right? Or
but not a lot. But yeah, there are plenty of guys who would do it. Like I can still act like it's my prime because I'm still the best player on the field, even though I'm 38 years old, because I'm playing against subpar competition. You're selling out stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
What's better?
Yeah.
And now, Dirty, Difficult, and Done. Sponsored by Performance Industrial.
Performance Industrial, there's never a job too dirty or too difficult for them to get it done. And that leads us to this. Lionel Messi not done. A 3-year extension with Inter Miami of the MLS. And so at 38 years old, he's now signed with David Beckham's team through 2028. Messi's the best player in the MLS this year, winning the version of the Golden Boot.
The Golden Boot.
Most goals. And going to keep going. And I'm glad he signed. It was like a weird contract, 2.5 years or something like that when he came over to the States. He joined them midway through. I'm glad that it's been enjoyable enough for him that he's signed me up for some more of this.
Seems okay.
Yeah.
David Beckham's into it.
Yeah.
He's into it. It's been good for the MLS. And that's all that matters. Like soccer in the US has needed that. The NWSL has taken off. It's wonderful because people always say like, you can't, it's only good in Europe. Okay, maybe it's only good in Europe, but our women's national team's pretty good.
Yep.
And I think we have the ability to play the sport well. So get a following in something other than just every 4 years when the Olympics rolls around or when the World Cup rolls around. It's nice for people, soccer fans, to have something to root for.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you. Internationally, what more is he capable of? Don't know.
Yeah.
But he's got his World Cup, and now he'll keep going with the MLS. And to your point, good for the sport.
No doubt.
College football weekend here, and some pivotal games in the SEC, and then some more kind of fringe games that will have college football playoff implications. Right. Yeah. Ole Miss and Oklahoma. Sooners here.
Would love a win.
I need one. And I think have a good opportunity to get right. Another week of Mateer healing at home. Ole Miss is really good.
They are really
but
good.
I like the Sooners defense there a little bit. Now, South Florida and Memphis. Memphis just lost last week, right?
First time.
Yeah. So they're both 6-1. And these are two teams in the conversation for that, non-power 4 conference team to make the CFP. South Florida with the inside track, but Memphis could change the conversation with a win at home on Saturday. Missouri at Vanderbilt, really good one in the SEC, and a small spread in Vandy's favor, which I thought was kind of an interesting number.
What do you got?
2.5.
Okay.
The more Vandy wins, the better it is for the sport, because Diego Pavia is I wouldn't even call him polarizing.
No.
He's a magnetic kind of guy, right?
Yep. He was great on TV on College Game Day. I thought he was fun. He played to it all. He's a good personality for the camera. I love it.
His mom and
that's weird.
Theo Vaughn stuff.
That's weird.
BYU still undefeated, 11th in the country at Iowa State. An interesting game in the Big 12. With Texas Tech losing last week, now can BYU kind of keep things rolling? Iowa State's a good team despite the 2 losses. And A&M, what a season for Mike Elko's squad. At night at LSU.
Death Valley.
And LSU has not looked good offensively all year. Nope. Can they do enough against a good defensive team to pull off the upset?
And look, they're probably going to lose because, well, I'm not saying probably going to lose. Whatever. They might lose. There's a good chance that they lose to Texas A&M. Does Brian Kelly get fired?
Not in season.
But by the end of the year. Is he
maybe.
I mean, we were talking potential national championship aspirations. I don't think that happens anymore, especially not. And again, they have to win this game in order to still be CFP like material. And that's a tough ask.
Season's over if they lose here. And when you look at what has happened with Texas and Penn State as the number 1 and 2 ranked teams, and
it's so crazy.
And Clemson was 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane.
And look at what happened.
You don't know anything
with Clemson.
Look, we're not the only ones who don't know anything about football.
Kidding, right? People voted for these teams.
Right. We're not that knowledgeable.
I know there's a lot and I'll just say it again, if you're going to fire Brian Kelly, who are you hiring?
I get it. Somebody else. James Franklin. Just trade jobs.
I mean, who are you hiring?
Do you know how many people are out there who could coach football?
10 wins every year?
Maybe not right away, but yes, I'm sure they could get there. There are plenty of people who can win football games.
I think what's the worst about this for LSU is the offense has been so bad. Brian Kelly's an offensive guy, and he's got Nussmeier, who was one of the Heisman favorites, and everybody talking about him as a top 10 pick.
Was he my Heisman pick?
I don't remember.
I think he might have been.
I remember mine was Kate Klubnik.
Well, not the worst, not the best. Nussmeier's been real underwhelming. Who's the Heisman? Who's winning it?
Right now, Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana, would be the guy after Beck threw 4 interceptions for Miami in their loss. Bad. Mendoza, but then you've got the Ohio State guys, Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin. Dante Moore, still of Oregon, mixed in there a little bit. It feels like it could be an underwhelming selection. Unless Indiana runs the table and Mendoza's been the guy, like that, all signs just kind of point to him. I get that.
I'm going to ask a question I don't know the answer to.
Oh, I hate when you do that. Go ahead.
Has Indiana ever had a Heisman winner? My guess is no.
I can't imagine.
That's what I kind of thought, but I'll look it up.
I can't imagine. All right, we talked about it already here. Jeff Hoffman playing in the World Series for the Toronto Blue Jays. Had a great high school career at Shaker. We're catching up with his head coach back from those Blue Bison days next on Onorato and Miller.
Open House at Open House RV is here, and due to popular demand, we've decided to extend the sale through the end of October. Take home a brand new travel trailer for only $127 a month, or upgrade to a new fifth wheel for just $353 a month. Open House, your total camping outfitter.
The great thing about Novice is no matter who you are, they're going to put all the detail in the world into your brand. I feel like they have been a big part of my success, making me feel comfortable. This is Harrison Butker, Super Bowl champion kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Claim your crown.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpen House.
Game 1 of the World Series, Friday night in Toronto. The scene where Shaker grad Jeff Hoffman struck out the side in the top of the ninth to send the Blue Jays to the World Series. His baseball coach in high school is with us, Steve Frank. Steve, when you watch Jeff in those big spots, are you nervous still in any way?
Oh, of course. It's it's certainly probably more nervous than he is at the time. You can see he's poised and he's got his breathing going and his head is there and everything like that. I'm sure all the fans and the people rooting for him and cheering for him are very nervous about it. And on the edge of their seat. So it's definitely nerve-wracking for all those people that are supporting him.
See, I can tell you're already kind of going back to what you noticed about him on a high school mound and what he's doing on a big league mound. You're talking about his breathing and just his overall demeanor in those big moments. Obviously, talent-wise, you never had a question about whether or not he was ready for a big game.
he proved that in the state tournament. But what wouldn't we know about him personality-wise, where now even if he's in a game 7 of a one-run game in the ALCS, you would feel like this guy is made up of the goods to get it done?
Yeah, he's it's hard maybe certain times to tell, but he is an ultra competitor, right? He just wants to win so badly. And one of the stories that, sometimes I was also getting a little nervous about back in his high school days was he also played basketball for Jeff Holmes at Shaker, and he was a really athletic kid and wants to win so bad, and they had a good team. And I remember him diving into the stands for a loose ball with that right arm extended, trying to save that ball, to try to win that game in the fourth quarter. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, but be careful. But he, a tremendous competitor, plays with a lot of juice, just wants to win, is always was always asking questions about how can it get better, how can our team get better to win a game. It wasn't just show up and go through the practice and not, like, he would ask questions. He wants to win so bad. So being a competitor, but the hard part is trying to be able to channel that in on the mound where he doesn't get out of control and out of rhythm, and fastballs are sailing high and out of missing, his command's not there. So he's able to put those two things together that make him really special on the mound in those big spots.
He's got to have guts too, man, because I heard him say post-game he wanted to avoid having to pitch to Cal Raleigh in that 9th inning, but still he threw a 3-2 slider to Julio Rodriguez. So there was a chance that, like, you might walk he's got guts to make some pitches like that, huh?
Oh, yeah. I don't think that the moment phases him. I think he's got a great mentality for that. And you really have to have a certain mindset to be in a position where, right, if you think, oh my God, we're in the 7th, game 7, it's the last inning, and you start to think about those things aren't going to go well. So I think that he's focused on his process. I know he has a lot of confidence in himself, right? You got to have that a little bit of swagger to step out there and say, hey, I'm going to get the job done. But he has that, and he's earned the right to, have that confidence in himself and his teammates.
There's so many professional sports where you just, coaches, talent evaluators, GMs, right, they just don't have the luxury of patience. Baseball's maybe a little bit different because you have a minor league system where you can really trust that, like, you're going to develop guys. And again, the talent was never questioned. Number 9 overall pick to Toronto, oh, by the way, out of East Carolina. But then it was like, okay, is Jeff going to find his spot? Is he a starter? Is he a middle relief guy? And then boom, all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, no, this guy has been a closer in waiting for a while here. Did any of that surprise you, his kind of evolution to now being the back end of a bullpen?
I didn't, I thought he was going to be, good as a starter. It just didn't work. I thought, his stuff was there to do that. But, baseball is a tough sport. And, there's a lot of, it's especially at the highest level, it's hard to do well. And so to see, I think it's a real testament to him to be able to see the change that he's made, and not everybody can do that. And if you watch how he's able to throw different pitches and do different things than what he did, 10 years ago, and throughout the process of that, and shows he's open to becoming the best version of himself, which he's always been. But to see him be able to execute those pitches in those big spots is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, we remember the trade to Colorado, and you're like, boy, what percentage of pitchers really succeed in Colorado? Very few. Yeah. Cincinnati, a ballpark where there are a ton of home runs allowed as well. I'm not saying that there aren't necessarily at the Bank in Philly or Rogers Center in Toronto, but I'm with you, Steve. Give us a little bit of insight, too, if you could, about Jeff's mentality to be malleable, where a lot of guys might have said, I'm a starter. And if I'm not going to figure out as a starter, I kind of will go down in flames. He's been willing to adjust and adapt.
Yeah, I think that's a real, great attribute of his, that he's able to do those things. He's a competitor at heart, right? So, and believes in himself. So I think he's also willing to listen, right? There's people that are telling him, hey, this is what we're going to do with you. And he can fight that and say, no, that's not what I do. And open to that. And I think he's open to his training and different aspects and throwing those different pitches. Going back to his high school days, I remember, like his junior year, he also played left field for us and batted cleanup, right? And how did that happen? Well, in this preseason scrimmage, we would go down to South Jersey. That's how we would go for a southern trip to get some warmer weather, right? And he gets in the scrimmage, and he gets 3 hits on the day, and we're like, we didn't really know that he could do that. And he stayed in the lineup, all the time from there. So he could have just sent to us like, hey, I just want to pitch. That's going to be my future. But again, he's willing to do some different things to try to help the team win, and really great mindset that he has to continue his growth. Was it tough to get other kids to take live BP against him back at Shaker? Certainly his senior year. I don't think even the other, we had a really good league, and we ended up with 2 other guys from in that year. Well, the next year too as well. Make the major leagues. So it's great competition. So he really showed himself up against some really good players as well. But even the other teams, I think there was a few guys at times where they didn't really want to face him either, especially when the weather that we get. I remember we played South Colony, and there was a snow flurries in the air, and it's 39 degrees, and there was a couple of pro scouts there watching him pitch. I felt bad that those guys were out there in those conditions, but he definitely had the goods then. But he really worked himself up. Right, his junior year he was 6-0, but he probably only threw in the low 80s, and he knew that he had to get stronger, work on his long toss, right, and he did all that stuff. So like within 6 months, he went from being the guy that could pitch to a guy that could pitch with velocity and nasty stuff. And that's just him working hard to try to achieve his goals. Yeah, that's awesome. I got a chance to cover him a little bit as a pro at the minor league level. We drove out to Connecticut, I believe, or maybe New Hampshire. I forget exactly where he was then, but also down to Citi Field when he was pitching against the Mets too. And it's great to see the success he's having now. So Friday night, game 1, what do you do now? You're a baseball guy. I love baseball. We're watching the World Series anyway, but now you've got this vested interest. How locked in do you feel like you need to be? Well, I'm definitely going to be locked in, and you'd be surprised the number of Shaker baseball fans and alumni and adjacent Blue Bison contact me and want to know, is he going to come in here? What's he going to do there? I'm just watching like you guys are, and just rooting for him and hoping for the best. But we're going to be locked in on these games for sure, and there's going to be added interest with the casual fans as well. But I'm sure you're analyzing it too, like, hey, let's not make this a 4-out save if we don't need to. Let's not bring him into a situation where, I'm not saying he can't get out of it, but 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the 8th inning, right? Like we want the best spot for a guy that we can get. Yeah, we like a clean entry into the inning, and being able to do that makes things a little smoother for the fans, and I'm sure for his family to try to keep the blood pressure and the heart rate down a little bit, but as less as possible. But yeah, we want it to be nice and smooth sailing for him, but I'm sure he's ready for any obstacle. Yeah, no doubt. Steve, this was fun catching up a little bit. I'm glad Jeff is in the World Series, so we could do this at News Channel 13. It's good to see you, and keep the heart rate down. When the Blue Jays need Jeff in the 9th, we'll all be watching. You know that. Awesome, Chris. Appreciate the time.
The fall open house at Open House RV is here. Your best chance to save big before the season ends. And due to popular demand, we've decided to extend the sale through the end of October. Take home a brand new travel trailer for only $127 a month, or upgrade to a new 5th wheel for just $353 a month. Shop a huge selection of new and pre-owned RVs, including 2025 closeouts, and free storage until spring. Take advantage of show pricing now through October 31st at Open House RV in Amsterdam and Saratoga. Open House, your total camping outfitter.
Imagine coming home after a long day and slipping into your own personal hot tub from Wellness Spas. Let the stress of the day melt away as you soak in the therapeutic benefits of the water. Our team at Alpenhaus wants to help you relax and enjoy the advantages of owning your very own hot tub. Now offering a whole new lineup from Wellness Spas, featuring models from their City Life and Peak Life lines. Alpenhaus Pools and Hot Tubs. Visit us at Clifton Park Center and Route 30 in Amsterdam.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Back on Onorato and Miller here, and boy, it was the last time we got to see or talk with Steve Frank. Been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
I said he looks exactly the same.
Yeah, might have a little less hair, but exactly the same.
But he was always wearing a hat.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He just always looked so young when he was coaching at Shaker. He still does.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
So the request for TV come to me.
Yeah. I said, my wife tells me you're a busy guy these days.
So I'm trying to track down, like Coach Dopp, who was the AD at the time. And I thought, okay, Coach Dopp, can you put me in touch with Coach Frank? And we'll see if he wants to talk to some of the TV guys. Because everyone wants to make that connection and keep the Jeff Hoffman story going. And this is how we do it, to talk to guys like Steve.
Yep.
Really nice guy.
Yep.
Had great success. But it helps when you've got guys who are multiple guys who were thrown in the majors.
Yeah, good of him to give us all the time that he has this week.
Absolutely.
All right, our NFL picks. This is last week.
I mean, we didn't even talk about the Giants collapse because it was so long ago.
That's it.
I know, but it was so bad.
That's it.
They still got it done for me.
They did get you to cover town, and Ash is 4-1. I was 3-2. The records are still awful.
Look at how bad my record is, and I was 4-1.
But you're climbing. You're climbing. So here we go. The NFL slate is terrible this weekend. Will I still spend most of the Sunday watching? Yes, I will. But we're going to mix in a little bit of college here. Ole Miss and Oklahoma, Saturday at noon. I'm on the Sooners. Talked about it already a little bit this show.
My dad's going to be very upset with me.
I think Oklahoma's defense will be able to do enough against a really good Ole Miss offense. Give me the Sooners at home.
Mateer.
He was playing like the Heisman favorite before he got hurt.
I know.
It's
but they probably brought him back too soon.
Yeah, it's going to return. I believe it returns this weekend.
Ole Miss lost last weekend.
Sure did.
I think.
At Georgia.
I think. And listen, that's a fine loss. You still can get in and whatever. But you lose to Oklahoma, and now maybe you got some problems. I think they bounce back and get a win.
Okay. So we're split on the first game. A&M and LSU.
LSU at home. Home dog.
Yeah, home dog at night. I'm just buying.
In Death Valley. I know.
This LSU team is very talented. And I think it shows up Saturday night. Death Valley.
We're on the same page. I don't know if it's a good page or a bad page.
A&M's going to win that game. But maybe it'll only be by 1 or 2.
Oh, let's hope. That's not a lot of wiggle room for us.
Bills and Panthers, we both like Buffalo here.
If they can't get this done, I quit. I quit the Bills. I've said that before. If they can't cover this for me, I quit them.
Yeah. And Carolina's not bad. They're 4-3. But yes, Buffalo, if you are who we think you are,
get it done.
You've got to win this game by more than a touchdown. The NFL, margin for error in the NFL is so razor thin every single week, isn't it? It just feels like unless you're the Colts, who are playing at a historically high level offensively,
which is insane.
Every other team, it feels like, that could go either way.
And I'm interested to see if the Colts ever come back down to earth.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're going to get whacked by somebody.
Yep, give them Kansas City on a Monday night or something. I kept the Ravens off our sheet this week because it looked like Lamar might come back, but wasn't sure. And it looks like he is going to play 1-5. Just an aside here, does Baltimore have any shot to get to the playoffs, in your opinion? You think they have and for all like, I'm
going to say no, because
with Cooper, the defense has been the problem.
Just like a sieve. They can't stop a nosebleed. Yeah. And there were games with Lamar in. It hasn't been like it's not Cooper Rush's fault.
They're losing 38-30 to the Lions your dad.
Boomer Sooner.
Yep.
I know.
You said he'd be disappointed.
I know.
Yes. Giants and Eagles. You are riding the Giants here.
I'm doing it.
In Philly.
Despite the fact that they gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter against Denver.
Yeah. Eagles looked better last week against Minnesota, but not for the entirety of the game.
Right. They tend to take a little bit of a chill pill in the second half.
I'm going to go big game from Barkley here.
We haven't had one of those yet this year.
All
Not a
season.
single one.
Waiting for it to hit.
I am going to hope that the team it keeps trending in the right direction. I was so impressed with the defense in the first half of that game that I thought, well, maybe they're just kind of buying into the Jackson Dart and it's affecting both sides of the ball. And then they gave up 33 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter.
I mean, that's as bad as it gets.
19-0, 26-8.
It broke my heart.
33-32.
They scored one touchdown, and I was like, you know what? I'm not worried because it's such a big lead, and there isn't that much time left. Mm-hmm. Jackson Dart threw a pick at like his own 20, and I thought, well, this isn't good. It's going to go the other way. And it did.
And you can't miss 2 extra points.
Oh, yeah, that poor guy without a job.
Obviously.
I know.
You can't do that.
I feel bad.
All right. Me too. Redhead.
Fellow redhead. Yeah. You knew he wasn't going to have a job. It's really sad.
They don't make us NFL players. That's for sure. Cooper Rush, Carson Wentz, and the Giants.
There are
kicker.
Only a few.
Yeah,
Who? Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. Oh yeah, he is still
Red Rifle.
Yeah. Packers and Steelers Sunday night in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers.
I can't believe you're picking against him.
It's the number for me. Green Bay, aside from the first 2 games of the season, has not won impressively. So I think if they win this game, it's still very close. And the hook scared me here, 3.5. I thought it would be just like Aaron Rodgers to go play a big game, right?
It's not at Lambeau, though.
It's not at Lambeau. And I think the Packers will win. Like Jordan Love, let's go, man. This is your opportunity as well. We're all going to talk about Aaron Rodgers, but Jordan Love can leave an impression on a national audience here that says, oh, yeah, Green Bay made the right decision to move on from Rodgers, which we all know, no matter how this game plays out. But it would be a good moment for him to go play well and win this game.
No doubt.
And you're on the Packers.
I'm on the Pack.
All right. Here's what it looks like here. Oklahoma, LSU, Ole Miss, LSU for Ash.
So we're 3 different.
And then we go Bills, Eagles, Steelers, Bills, Giants, Packers.
3 different.
We were quite different last week as well.
And it worked out.
And you were 4-1.
We were both above 500.
Yeah. So we've got some interest on Saturday now in addition to Sunday as well.
That was a surprise that I didn't love.
Right.
I was just a little it was the surprise factor.
Okay.
I looked and I thought, oh boy, I feel like I should know more about college football, and I didn't.
One note on the way out here, Tony Vitello goes from the University of Tennessee to the San Francisco Giants. First guy ever, Ash, to go
insane
to manager of a major league team without any major league experience is really the key here, but to jump from college to manager.
Managing is managing. I think the most difficult part will be the farm system. You're no longer recruiting, but to be pulling guys up, and how does that work? That probably isn't the easiest because you're managing the big leagues, but you've got a whole crew underneath you.
Yeah, and if you're smart, you hire a staff that does a lot of that chess piece moving around, if you will. Enjoy the weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching O&M.